It always happens whenever I plug in this silly thing. Hello, it's me, the local virtual baker, Saltea Kichee. I hope you guys are doing good today. Hi, hello. Yeah, I was looking at my thing. It's like it's not doing the thing again. But hi, Lung. Hello. Howdy. Ciao, hello, how are y'all doing? We're doing some bread baking of the sorts of the variety today. I guess, what's the word? I guess we are doing it in the quote-unquote experimental way of baking, the movie magic way of baking, because cohesion. We're gonna simply say cohesion. Yes. So, did you know that milk bread has two variations? Did you know? I hope you do, because we're gonna do a bit of chatting, a bit of yapping, a bit of a knowledge dump, if you will, because, you know, I don't know, I find this stuff kind of interesting. It's kind of cool. It's like, oh, for the entire, it's like for your entirety of your life, you know, like, oh, ABC is like ABC, but then when you go into something else, it's like, oh no, wait, there's actually a D as well. Like, oh my god, there's A, B, C, and D. Like, it's like, oh wait, there's two kinds of ways to making milk bread. That's crazy, you know. I'm a simple person with simple things. Of like, oh wow, this is definitely something of all time, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just, it's interesting to me, and I want to explain it to you because I find it kind of interesting as well. But after doing some research and also just having some mild curiosity, because when you say tangzong, which is what you use to make milk bread, and milk bread on its own, you know, it's very well known that it's like a very Japanese sort of ordeal, yeah. And then you go and you know, the tangzong and all that whatnot and such, but like, I'm not sure if this sounds messed up to say, but tangzong doesn't sound Japanese. It sounds something that's more of the Mandarin dialect and whatnot. It doesn't sound like a word that is any sort of I can't think of the word right now. I don't know what the dialect for Japanese is. The Japanese language, you know, speaking Japanese and all that, that definitely isn't Japanese. Exactly! So it's like, you know what? Why is it tangzong? Does tangzong actually, is that Japanese or is it something else? So I looked it up and I found out that it's actually Taiwanese. Or Chinese, one of the two, however you really want to say it. I don't really know if it's the same difference or not, so, I don't know. But tangzong and tangzong is something that's from the Mandarin, the Taiwanese, whatever it may be. And I found out that it's actually, I guess you could say it's like a Chinese variation of making shokupan, which I thought was kind of interesting. But the thing about that is that I didn't really look up the history of it because I wasn't really interested in that, but it's like, wait, does that mean, because like, if it's a Japanese based bread, oh wait, hold on, I gotta do something real quick. Yes, I am already baking a bread, but don't worry, we are baking another bread, because this one, I believe, is the standard for like milk bread and such. This is the one that's in the oven currently is the one that uses the tangzong. I think. Yeah, it is. So, yeah. So anyways, what was I talking about? Yes, So I looked into it and I found out that it's apparently the original recipe didn't use something called a tangzong. It used something that was actually very different in comparison of like a tangzong, and and it's called a yudane. It's Yudane, and when I was making the bread and all that whatnot, as I was mixing the dough, I was actually quite surprised to see how mixing it together was pretty much the same standard ordeal. It makes you kind of question why would you want to do it like the way of the tangzong and all that whatnot, unless you're making it like the time of. And it's like, oh, what if you want to make it ahead of time and have the stuff already pre-made and all this and that and other semantics, I suppose. But essentially, there is a big difference between the two, and I like to compare it and think of it like think of it as like a poolish versus a biga situation. If you don't know what that is, a poolish is essentially a pre-ferment that you would use, a lot like a sour starter. And a biga is also like that, also like a sour starter, a pre-ferment. But the difference between a poolish and a biga is what kind of breads they are used for, but also it's very much differently used in the sense, it's very much different in the sense of how wet they are. A poolish tends to be a little bit more wet than a biga, and a biga tends to be almost like its own like separate dough. And a tangzong and yudane is pretty much like the same ordeal of that, because one is more wet and gooey, and the other one is more like a cohesive dough. And it's actually, I don't know, I find that kind of like a funny little thing. It's like, they're not pre-ferments, but they are softening agents, if you will, and they are used pretty much the same exact way, but they are different of how you make them. Udanes are a lot more doughy. It's a lot more easier to make too, because with tangzongs usually tend to be like a 1-to-5 ratio of 1 part flour, 5 parts liquid. And a yudane is the same ordeal, but instead of being 1-to-5, it's actually a 1-to-1 ratio. So a yudane would use like 20 grams of flour and then 20 grams of liquid, milk or whatnot you would be using. And what is it? A tangzong would be using 20 grams of flour and then 100 grams of liquid. Actually, I have a picture here because quiet you. Because there is a very visible difference between the two as well. If I have it. Alright, here it is. I'm not sure if the picture does its justice too well, but just bear with me and I'll explain it. This one is a lot more goopy, it's a lot more wet, and it requires a lot more cooking, obviously. Sorry, wait, it's not showing. There we go, sorry. Okay, so here are the two like softening agents that you would use. One is, this is the tangzong. It's a lot more creamy looking, it's a lot more soft looking as well. You can very much see it, it's very wet, gooey. It's almost like a paste, if you will. But the yudane, which is 50-50, it's a lot more dry. It's more like its own separate dough, and to actually mix it is actually quite difficult because since it's a lot more drier and as you're cooking it, it gelatinizes very quickly. It turns into its own dough, so it's almost like you gotta mix it as best as you can, and then you gotta put it onto a surface and start kneading it. And it does the same. These both do like the same like job, because the job that they're both doing is gelatinizing dough, some of the dough, to then use as a softening agent for bread. Sorry, I'm not done the info dump. I just need a drink of water because I'm talking a lot about this. So, but I kind of find, I don't really know the difference, or if there is a notable difference between the two, because I haven't really done a side-by-side test of the two. But I kind of like doing it this way, the yudane, because I can see an instance of like, oh, I want to make a lot of bread, but not right now. And although you could do the same thing with this, since it's a lot more liquid, a lot more wet and pasty, it's a lot like measuring melted butter, not melted, softened butter. It's a little bit more difficult because it's like it can stick, and then you don't get your exact measurements and this and that. But since this is kind of more of its own sort of dough, it's a lot easier to get those exact measurements and not needing to scrape out the goddamn container with a like a spatula or whatnot. You just kind of plop it in, and then yeah, that's all you do. Maybe you break it up in the liquid you're using, but that's really all that's to it. And it's also a lot more easier to make because there is some semantics you could do with the tangzong, like making sure you check the temperature, cooking it for a certain amount of time, blah 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 blah. But I'm also just very impatient and don't feel like doing that stuff because it does feel a bit extra. But this is very straightforward in a sense because all you're pretty much doing is mixing it. You boil your liquid. Once you boil it, you add your flour, then you mix it until it comes together as a dough, and then you kind of let it cool off. And that's that. That's pretty much it. The dough, I should have actually taken a picture of the dough and done like a little video or something. But the dough of the bread were very, very similar. They're very, very soft. They're very pudgy, la 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 la, stuff like that. So from the raw dough aesthetic, I suppose, they're very much the same. There's not much difference between the two. So there's that to keep in mind. So I'm only guessing that most likely these breads are going to be similar. So I will mention that the one of the udane is a little bit more. It's a little less mixed. Has a less homogeneous mix, I guess, because it's a little bit tacky, and I imagine that's just because I did a poor job of dispersing the udane a lot more than you would with a tangzong, which I guess is a good thing about the tangzong because not only is it really it's not very difficult to make, honestly. It's also easier to distribute into your breads and whatnot because it's a lot more wet. It can get mixed into your dough a lot more easily because with the udane, you're essentially mixing another dough into your dough. And that can be a little hard because then you have to try and break it up, and that's a whole bunch of semantics and blah 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 blah. So there's stuff like that. But maybe I just made a bad udane. Maybe I was just impatient. I do not know. But they both do the same. They both pretty much give you the same results of you need to gelatinize some of you need to gelatinize a portion of the dough, and you can utilize this to then hopefully increase the shelf life. Well, not hopefully. It does increase the shelf life of your breads and also adds a much more softened texture to your breads as well. And that is my yap sesh about that. Yes. I am a little worried because I will admit I did a last minute tinker to my bread recipe, the milk bread recipe. And it's it's not a bad tinker. I think it's a really good tinker because it makes the bread it should on paper make the bread a lot more approachable, a lot more easy, a lot more for the novice folk, because I've noticed that my milk bread was very, very wet in comparison to I guess it's just very wet, the dough. And I can make some really good bread with it, but I want to try and make sure that every bread recipe I create is good for the people who are novice or amateur at most. So I wanted to make it easier, so if you lads would ever want to recreate it, you're more than welcome to, and you can also have an easier time trying to make it as well. So yeah. That being said, I have also edited my recipes a bit today, and yeah. That's it. I just made the recipes easier. I also had to change some of the wording of said recipes as well. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna make sure I really quickly get that out. Bread. Bread. let her rise as much. But her normal loaf bread mix. Give me a sec here. I kind of feel like I should actually move into the kitchen at this point. So, I'm gonna do that accordingly. Hi. Right. So, let's talk about what I was just doing because, you know, I have to bake this other bread right here that I'm in the way of, that I haven't changed the screen of. I'm so smart. Sorry, hold on. Oh, wrong one. No. So, anyways, what I just did to kind of, what's the word here? To cool off the container because, well, I gotta bake this other bread right here. Don't want to keep it waiting for too long because then it would overproof and then I would have a whole plethora of other issues to deal with, and I don't feel like dealing with that. I'm here to make bread and I'm trying to make it quick because I want to. I don't think I need to justify a reason, it's just that I want to make bread quickly. But yeah, this is the one that is made with the udane. It's still very soft and jiggly like, you know, your average milk breads and whatnot. In he goes. Okay. There we go. Get in there, you fatty. Right. And now I have to let that rise, but that is most definitely gonna take an hour or so. Alright. So. Actually, you know what? I'm having... I gotta just like... It is very much proofed, so I just gotta really quickly just... Not proofed, it definitely rose a little bit, so... I just gotta... punch it down a bit. And then kind of reshape it haphazardly. There we go. And now, I'll let this guy rise. But yeah, it's actually not as brown as you would think it is. It is actually a preferred color for me. Very light, very soft. It will get softer as it cools down and all that whatnot. But also to increase how soft it gets, I'm actually going to, as it cools down, wrap it in a cloth. Because it's gonna make a lot of moisture on it. It's gonna condensate all that heat that's coming out of the bread right now, and make the crust what would be very crusty and crispy, I guess. I don't know. The much more here. This is an ASMR stream. This is what it is now. You can hear how, like, I don't know what the sound is. I don't know how to explain the sound. I don't exactly want to say like leathery, but you can definitely hear that it's a little crispy. So to soften up that crispness, Christmas, Santa Claus, ho ho. To soften that guy up, I'm gonna wrap it in a clean towel for now, and then we'll let that do its thing. I'm actually going to leave this guy here on top of my stovetop because it's warm, it's going to help it rise quicker, this and that, and blah blah blah. I'm always afraid to punch them down because I worry that they won't rise anymore. Well, that kind of depends on how old your yeast is. and also it depends on how you store your yeast. More often than not, I use instant active dry yeast. I think it's just very convenient, it's easy to use. You don't actually have to let it bloom that much, actually. You don't have to even let it bloom at all. But, yeah, my yeast is usually sourdough. Well, even at that, like, hold on, wait. So, I actually did make some sourdough today, funny that you mentioned. And this one, you can see the ear, it rose very nicely. It has a beautiful color right here, really nice little ear as well. I'd have probably gotten a little bit more aggressive with it, honestly. But it rose very nicely. And it's very light, it's crispy. It's pretty much a perfect sourdough, but this was using a 2-day old starter. So the thing about sour starter is that if it's been fed within a recent 3 to 4 days, it's fine. And when you add it to more dough, you have to think about when you add it to more dough, you're kind of in essence feeding it again, but at different hydration, because when you add more flour to sour starter, it feeds off the carbs to make the sugars, and then, you know, makes its sourness and all that whatnot. And what is it? You're kind of in essence feeding it, but it's a lot less of an effective feed, if you will. But it will, I do believe it increases a much more sour-like flavor. So there's something like that to keep in mind. But yeah, I made this lovely sourdough today. I think I want to eat it, but I already have another sourdough so I'm probably gonna give this guy away to my jab. But yeah, you don't really need to worry about that. And I guess the only time you would have to worry about like your sour or your yeast being dead is if you're using like an extremely salty dough, because salt will kill off your sour starter, obviously, or your yeast and whatnot. Hey Lung, there's a thing. Can you allow that message? That's fine. You can allow that. What is it? What's the word here? What's the word? I lost my train of thought. I saw a notification in front of me, and now I don't know what I was talking about. Shoot. Hold on. Let me actually fix that real quick. I feel bad for you, my guy. No, you said, yeah, show it, it's fine. Though I gotta say, the moment it gets... Here, actually, wait. Let me see how I can do it. Show. Alright, yeah, what is twink bread? Like, what do you mean? This is sourdough. This is just your average, top of the line, artisanal, 2-day fermented sourdough, you know? What do you mean? It's bread. I mean, if anything, I would imagine you would call this twink bread, because it's Japanese mixed with a bit of Chinese. It's Asian. Twink baking bread. Okay, well, fair enough, I guess. Wow, why does my YouTube chat hate you? Yeah, I feel I'm not gonna say sorry, because I don't like YouTube chat. Nah, it's fine. But man, I was talking about something too. Goddamn. Oh yes, yeast stuff. Usually you worry about stuff like that when it's like your yeast is slowly rising in considerations of how long it's been fermenting for. Usually bulk ferments are something you want to keep more of an eye of, so that's something you need to take into account. More often, don't worry, I'm used to it. Alright, fair enough. Well, welcome in. I sure hope you're not gonna stir too much trouble, sir. or miss, or all those in between. We do not mind, do not care. Slay, I guess. Slay? Slay. Yeah, we'll slay. But yeah, going about yeast and like the longevity of that, more often than not, depending on how long you're fermenting those yeast, you're fermenting your bread and whatnot, your bread will often turn more into a starter before it dies, but it depends on like your salt ratios, your sugar ratios, and I guess the amount of flour you use as well, and the liquids. But more importantly is the salt. And second to none is the sugar. And I guess by proxy is the salt and the sugar. Because, fun fact, sugar actually does kill the yeast as well. And to a lesser extent, but it also kind of is like a... Think of it like steroids. Yeah, steroids make you stronger in one sense, but they also will kill you in another sense, you know? Kind of like that, I guess? Yeah? I don't know. Ooh. Yeah, it's very pillowy soft, right? It's very pillowy soft. That even with my what is it? My unfortunate revision, but the revision to the recipe I'd made will make it so making this bread is a lot easier for you lot as well. If you ever want to make this bread, it should be at least 2 times easier. Maybe. I'm not sure. But it smells wonderful. It smells like... I don't know how to explain what it smells like, but it smells good. It smells like lovely fresh bread that is very enriched with like fat and milk and butter and stuff like that, with a bit of mild sweetness. It's good. It's good bread. And did the throwing work? I didn't even feel it. I couldn't hear it, but ow, that definitely did hurt. But yeah, these are my breads for now. Yes. I am going to go back to the desktop for now. Actually, wait. Yeah, okay. We can go back to the desktop for now, and then I can talk to you about some other fun things. Because I must admit... I must admit to you all, I am a very cheap bastard, but also not a cheap bastard, if that makes sense, you know? So how am I gonna explain this? I'm a cheap bastard in the sense of, hold on, wait. I'm a cheap bastard in the sense of buying stuff. So, I often don't buy milk because I don't really use milk that much. But, I do often use a lot of cream. So, I want to show you maybe a possibly useful skill, maybe some fun things, because you know what I know that you all love because you're a part of this chat. I know you like it. Because we all like being a little bit smart here. Yes, we love numbers and all that. I'm gonna teach you some fun maths. Oh, thank you for the head pats. The kind of cheap bastard who makes brioche? Hey, now listen. Making brioche is a lot cheaper than actually buying brioche. I found at my local grocer to get 4 buns, it's like $6. And that's insane. Because I know I can make those same buns, better quality, and more of them for cheaper. Ebify, I'm surprised that not all the things are working. That is BS. Hold on. Is it even working? I don't know. Oh, well maybe that's why, because this is apparently the wrong one. Hold on. Let me exit that mix up. And I gotta... Why is there 2? Why do I have 2? Yes. I also have been following you for around 4 months. Oh! I'm sorry! Yeah, sorry, lad. I don't know. I'm just very not smart, if you will. But hi, I've never seen you around here. I'm sorry. But here, you did cheapify me, so let me there we are. Ah, yes. Been a while. Small. Alright. Normally here, when Aries is here, don't worry. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. And that makes sense. Anyways. Yeah. You want to do some math? I know you lot like math, right? You love math. We all love some math, right? Yeah? Yeah, we love math here. Good. I'm not hearing any opposition, if you will. So, we're gonna do some math. I'm gonna show you some conversions, because let's say you buy cream too. Like, let's say you're the same person like me. You buy cream and you don't buy milk, because milk doesn't last as long as cream, because there's so much more fat in cream, so it tends to have a longer shelf life, and you don't really have to worry about that. But your milk tends to sour a lot more quickly, and then next thing you know, you buy a quart of milk, and then you let it sit in your refrigerator because you think you're gonna make milk bread, but then you end up not making milk bread because you get busy, and then it's like, oh yeah, 2 weeks down the line, I want to make bread. I want to make milk bread. You open the thing, and next thing you know, you have cottage cheese. So I stopped buying milk, and now do a conversion of cream to milk, because it makes sense. Financially, it makes sense for me, and as a bastard that loves to be cheap, you know, I found a way around it that actually makes it better in a way. It's complicated, but it's not complicated, because I'm going to show you what I mean, because usually whole milk is 3%. Whole milk tends to be 3%, and heavy cream on the lower echelons is 36 to 40. We're not gonna worry about the 40 because it's easier and more safer to always go with the lower number, and it ever so happens that the lower number is divisible by 3. So there is a conversion to be made here. So you can definitely just, if you know your quick maths, you know that this is 12 times whatever this is. So in that regard, let's say I need like 500 grams of milk, but you need, you have cream because you want to save money and you don't feel like having milk. You don't want to go buy a quart of milk, because when you buy a quart of milk, it sours and gets encurdled and get cottage cheese. So instead, you have to then divide this by 12. Hold on, wait. Divided by 12, and then you get that it's 41. But like, oh, wait, I need more volume, because, 41% is not 41 grams to 500. That's a very incredibly large discrepancy. So how do you get this number to make it more into like a milk number? You then just subtract it by 500. So the next thing you know it, you find out you need to add 559 grams of water. Because if you want to know a dark, sad secret of life, milk is watered down cream. Did you know that? You know it now. So now you just need to add 459 grams of water to your 41 grams of heavy cream, and that is how you stretch and cheap out on buying milk. Because then, like, if you think here, let me tell you the reason why this is better. Because like let's see, because oh, by the way, this is all estimations. This probably isn't exact, by the way. Let's talk about some quick maths here, because like in a quart of cream, 1 quart, or 946 milliliters, or grams, because I don't care, milliliters or grams of cream, you can then now multiply that by 12, and then next thing you know it, you find out you have, you convert this into milk. If you were to change this entire thing, you can now convert that by multiplying this by 12, and then you have to add the excess water. You basically get 1 liter of milk. I think. Wait, hold on, wait. Hold on. I didn't check my maths for this because I know that with Google telling me it is, so for 1 quart of milk you have 946 milliliters of cream. So then you just have to multiply that by actually no, I think you get more because this is the lower echelon in the sense of like, oh yeah, because we have this. So then you have to multiply this by 12, and that is the amount of water you have to actually add, but that's not even an exact number because we actually get oh wait, I'm not mathing correctly. 146 times 12, you get 11,352 milliliters, but then you also have to add in the 946. So when you add that 946 milliliters to liters, oh wait, yeah, holy hell, that is okay, no, that makes more sense. You essentially get 12 liters of milk. And for the lot that need the ratio and all that whatnot, we essentially just made 1 quart of milk, okay? 1 quart has now turned into 3 gallons of goddamn milk. I'm not sure if you can understand the maths here, but let's say a gallon, all right? So there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So you have to multiply these two numbers together and it's 12. But you don't need to do that number because you remember chat that we just multiplied this by 12 in general. So essentially, if you don't understand here, you multiplied 1 quart of milk by 12, and now you have 3 gallons of milk. So yes, that's the maths. There you go. So the TLDR, 1 quart of cream can also equal 3 gallons of milk. And this is cheaper. This is better than getting actual milk because cream tends to last longer, has more fat, and also you get to have a little bit more control of your milk because, you know, they add other stuff to your milk. So milk is watered down cream in a sense. And although it's not the exact maths because there's probably more complicated maths, and as much as I know, my math is incorrect, you still get, in a sense, in a rough estimation, 3 gallons of milk. And that is good math right there. That is how you save money. I live alone, so I don't really like to waste stuff like that. So that's why I don't buy milk. Because if I have 1 quart of cream, I essentially have 3 gallons of milk. Math lesson is over. You guys don't have to scream anymore. I know you love math so much you scream to me. Salty. We love math. We love math. We love math. We love it when you do math streams. We love math streams. We all love math. We love school. Yes, we love learning. Yeah! It's hot in here now. Alright. Anyways, sorry, I was completely ignoring chat for that entire time, so let me actually... It's not watered down, it's skimmed milked down. Whatever that is, it's not very dense. I don't understand what you're calculating. Is this the amount of cream to have the same fat content as whole milk? You're comparing 3% fat milk to 36 fat cream. So does that make your milk bread not actually have milk? Well, if you really want to play semantics here, it's technically more cream bread, if that makes it feel better. But over here in the States, unfortunately, our whole milk is 3% milk actually, and in the States it's pretty much just watered down and all that whatnot, essentially. Watered down and then probably having like added sugars and additives and BS like that. I'm not really sure. I haven't really actually done the research. This is just a poor man's semantics, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, our whole milk is actually 3% milk. Fun fact, lads. Hey, American guys, American boys and women and children. Well, actually, if you're children, get the fuck out of here. Second of all, milk. Yeah, you like milk and bread? Very good. Very, very good. Very good. You must be very tall and very strong and very energetic and all that whatnot. But for the lot here, if you did not know, look it up right now. Look up right now. What percent of fat is in whole milk? It's 3%. So, yes. Oh, your 2% milks, your 1% milks, your 0% milks, and all that whatnot. Your 2% milks is only 2/3 of what milk should be. Half and half, by the way, I believe is just Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I think what I technically made is more like half and half in a sense. I'm not sure. I don't really do the research too hard on this whatnot. It varies on the cow. Yeah, because I thought that the part of the brown was the protein. Yes, that is the Maillard reaction and stuff like that, but you also gotta take into account of the sugars, the caramelizations of that. And there is a considerable amount of sugar in the dough, but it's not, well, I mean, it is, yeah, but there's enough fat, there's enough sugar, there's enough flour, I guess, because flour can also caramelize, because if you're saying, if with your logic, with that logic, why is my sourdough so darn? Why is my goddamn sourdough so much more brown than the other one? That sounds really fucked up. Please don't take that out of context. Oh, I need a. And it doesn't help. Okay. It came from chocolate. It came from a brown cow. Chocolate milk. Okay. Anyways, I think I need to stop eating chibi. I think I'm gonna go back. Chibi goes back to jail. Hi, we're back. Real Salty's back. Okay. Oh dear God. What did that motherfucker say? Hey! I prefer the taste of 1% fat milk, but baking or so I use 3% milk. Well, that is just whole milk, yeah. I don't like baking with milk all the time, honestly. I don't know. Baking with milk is like baking. It's not really much of a difference for me. If anything, the only difference of why I don't like to bake with milk very often is because milk costs money. My water does not cost money. It's a part of my rent, so I don't have to pay a separate water bill. Yippee! So there's that to keep in mind. Also, I'm gonna take a little look-see at our bread here. Oh! Okay, she's ready to go. Thanks. Alright, into the oven she goes. She is going to bake. Speaking of reconstituted pseudo milk, I made Aaron today? Aaron? What's Aaron? I don't know. What's that? Aaron. Oh, it's a beverage of sorts. It's a cold, savory, yet refreshing yogurt-based drink popular in Turkey, the Middle East, and Balkans, made of yogurt, water, and salt. Okay. So it's a boring smoothie. It's a boring yogurt smoothie. Got it. Yogurt plus water. I am from Scandinavia. Ooh, very cool. So we bake and cook with milk all the time. Write off the milk as a business expense. That makes sense. I just don't use milk very often. I just kind of, I'm first of all, if you don't understand, with my pseudo milk nonsense and my milk conversions and this and that, I don't bake with milk because it costly. It costs money, and I don't like spending a lot of money on things that I will really use that much. I don't really cook with milk very often. I also just don't really use. I can't really think of times where I actually cook with milk specifically. Very rarely do I actually even just cook with milk. Cook with water, and I make stock. I use cream because I like cream. Cream is better milk. Like the only times and instances where it's like, oh, I need milk, is if like I'm making mac and cheese, and I don't very much like mac and cheese. Is that a shocker? Is that something that is shocking? Because I don't like milk. I mean, I don't like mac and cheese that much. I can make mac and cheese and I can enjoy mac and cheese, but I don't really care for it. I don't know. Mac and cheese is mac and cheese, you know? It's like, I don't care. I'd rather go for like some bread. Like if we want to make a tier list right now on paper right now, and it's like, oh, S tier foods versus like A and B and C tier foods. Like S tier is obviously bread and rice and stuff like that. If you talk about carbs, then you have your A tiers. I guess I'm trying to think of an A tier carb. Quinoa, wild rice. That stuff is okay. It's tolerable. But then it's like, we get into B tier, like low B tier food. I honestly, I think mac and cheese is low B tier. I don't really like mac and cheese. I feel like it's definitely something that you have to like grow up with to really, really enjoy. This tier, it needs graphics. Okay, fine. Fine, you want some graphics? I'll give you some graphics. Alright, so, S... I'm doing it as a mouse because I'm lazy. You got your S, you got your A's, and you got your B's and C's, you know? So, you know, obviously, in your S tiers... hold on, I gotta pull up Google Images. You know, you got your S tier foods, you got your, breads, you know, breads. You got bread right there. You have a humble bowl of rice. You know, rice is great. Just like a plain bowl of white rice. You really can't beat it. It's simple, it's delicious, and sustains and very cheap in bulk. What is it? Then you have like this might come off controversial. I don't know. Cake is definitely not an S tier, it is like an A tier food because I feel like it's a very situational food to eat. In the sense of like, you don't eat this every day, you eat it for occasion, and you don't want to eat it every single day because you get fat! Unless you want to get fat. Like what's the guy that eats food and cries? I don't remember his name. I don't know, that one, the one that got fat, but then he also got thin and did like a weird monologue of sorts. I don't know. I'm trying to think of another carb. What's another carb that's like B tier? Tostito potato tortilla chips, B tier. Yeah, they're meh. I don't know, meh. And then like what is it? You got your just basic mac and cheese. You know, your Kraft mac and cheese. That's like C tier. Though I will mention, just because I think it's a lot better, but like if I were to put mac and cheese higher, if I don't know, if there's something that is something to be considered here, there is a difference. There is a clear difference between normal mac and cheese and baked mac and cheese. Baked mac and cheese belongs in B tier. You know, it starts with a B, and also the B is baked. And when it's baked, it has like, what is it? It has a good texture and flavor and extra bread because it's better because it has breadcrumb on top. So it's baked, and that's why bread is S tier, and rice is just S tier. They're both equally best. Fight me. C tier. Nikado avocado. Yeah, that one. That fat fuck. That guy. You need better cheese. That doesn't, no. That doesn't apply here. Because, I've made mac and cheese. I know how to make good mac and cheese. I know how to make rich people mac and cheese. Because at the place I work at, we make rich people mac and cheese. And I will say, I've made it with like aged Gouda, aged Irish cheddar, Munster cheese, American, the most fanciest and delicious of cheeses. And I've even tried to make my own mac and cheeses. Like, I apparently make an extremely delicious mac and cheese. My parents tell me, but I don't really like mac and cheese. But they like the mac and cheese I make. I make it with like a bacon roux, and then I use a mix of aged white cheddar, some Munster cheese, some Monterey Jack, and a pinch of mozzarella to give it that bit of stretch. Salty, make me mac and cheese. Sure, I can do that. Maybe if I can convince the lads, like, hey, I know that you guys might want to make food, but can I make mac and cheese for you lot? I could ask if I can make mac and cheese, it's not hard. All we would need is milk, noodles, and cheese. And I'll even need a knife. Oh, cheese metallurgy? I don't know what that means. Onion is an SS tier food? I mean, obviously, because it's in everything. Food without onion is like bread without butter. It's kind of sad. Since I'm not American, I didn't grow up on mac and cheese, and I ate a lot of fresh tortellini though. Ooh, that sounds really nice. I also didn't grow up on mac and cheese, so it's not really that much of a thing for me. That, and also, I hate the smell of Kraft mac and cheese. Here, you know what? I'm just gonna throw this in here because I hate it this much. F tier, you know? The F tier of foods. This is where Kraft mac and cheese belongs. Rightfully so. Kraft mac and cheese is a fucking mistake. It is an F tier food. Mutant cheese smells really like plastic. It's disgusting. I hate it. It's like it's some you make mac if you made mac and cheese with Cheese Whiz, it would have even been better. But if you make it with Cheese Whiz, yeah, F stands for garbage. And what about bulgur? Bulgur? What do you mean bulgur? Like bulgur wheat? I think bulgur wheat's like a B tier food. It's alright. What tier? Yeah, bulgur wheat goes in B. I like bulgur wheat actually. It's actually quite nice. It's like it's like if rice had a more bran flavor, and it's also more nutrient dense. So definitely would go in B. Udon. Udon is like top of A, bottom of S tier. Quinoa. Ooh, I think quinoa deserves S tier. I think it is nice texture. I think it tastes good, and it also has like omega-3s and tends to be a lot healthier for you. So it's like bottom of S tier, but for flavor, it's like meh. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta sneeze. Sorry. Soba is an S tier as well. I love soba. Oh, I was thinking. Okay, I definitely need to do a stream where I make fresh soba noodle. Because I have buckwheat flour, so definitely would be a good option. Quinoa got the protein. Yeah, protein. It got the protein and all that. Just quinoa is just. I think quinoa is technically a superfood. So, Why is Kraft an F? because Kraft mac and cheese is hot to garbage. It is a toxic waste. It is a heinous. It's a heinous act on human society as we know it. Manto, I don't know what that is, unless you're talking about manto. I don't know why I said it with an accent. Oh, what's manto? Steamed bread. I've never seen this before. Thanks for letting me know about this. It's gonna help with some bread making I need to do. I've never seen manto before. New bread, new bread. Words from a man with no tastes. My tongue is more expensive than yours. Man! Man. Yeah, get divided by class. Get divided by class, you bastard. Yeah, but garlic over onion? Hell yeah, I agree. Garlic is a lot better than onion. I don't think that's a controversial question. So dumplings count as dumplings count, or are they just bread? Okay, dumplings are a little bit more different because now you're introducing fillings. And although mac and cheese is on that fine line, a big part of mac and cheese is the macaroni, the pasta. Dumplings, I would argue that for macaroni, for dumplings, more the fillings, the star of the show. Because you don't go like, oh, I want mac and cheese, and you go like, oh, it has bacon and meat and this and that in it. No, you know mac and cheese has mac and cheese. But when you ask for a dumpling, it's like, oh, what kind of dumpling? Do you want a veggie dumpling, a meat dumpling, pork dumpling, barbecue dumpling, this dumpling, that dumpling, you know? So dumplings, I feel, are a little different. I feel dumplings don't really count in this category because we're talking about carbs, that sort of variety. Dumplings are their own kind of tier. Yeah, because dumplings we talk about, that's just general food. They're like A or S tier, by the way. I don't really eat dumplings enough, and I also don't feel like making them because they are high effort to make. It is just like you're asking me to make a ravioli. Speaking of which, dumplings are better than raviolis. Bite me. Honestly, I put onions on an even level, or maybe onions slightly higher. Like, if I had to give up one, I'd give up garlic. I'd give up onion, honestly. Onions, it's replaceable, because you got your green onions, you got your leeks, you got your garlic, and stuff like that. So onion in my head is very replaceable. Garlic is not. Non-negotiable. Yeah, you gotta grab the whole family for making dumplings. Yeah, it's definitely a family ordeal. That's a lot of talking. Ugh. Ugh, my throat. Anyways, I do actually want to take a moment here. I would like to talk about something I've been thinking about, something that I've been rolling in my mind for a while. All right. It's been a rolling thought. It's been in the brain sphere. It's been in the CPU for a bit. It's been in the markers. It's been in the board of like things. Okay, there's stuff happening outside. There is hold on. There we go. So look at this. It's my docky. It's my Google docky. Wow, it's my document full of bread. And I kind of said it at I say it at offhand ordeals, but I do want to make this into a physical copy of it. Oh, hold on, before I finish this. Bread. Alright. So anyways, I do actually if you take a little look-see here, this is my little Google Adaki of the breads that I bake. All of my recipes. If you are on YouTube side, all of said recipes are always in all of my descriptions of all of my streams, if you did not know. So if you ever ask where it is, check the description. There. Should be in the near top category. You should be see it. But yeah, this is where all my breads and whatnot is. Yeah, I just want to make a physical copy, but I feel like I definitely need to do some better graphics than just like silly pictures and whatnot. But I definitely need to make it look better. That might be something I do on my own time. And I also need to take some better pictures, which is another thing I gotta worry about. Ugh. Yeah, there's a lot. I like your bread book, Breadman. Thank you. I'm glad that you like my bread book, bread lad. Yeah. I definitely need to take more pictures, and I need to work on graphic design, because unfortunately, graphic design is not my passion, and I'm not very good at it. I just need to take more pictures! I need to make pancakes. Because I don't really take pictures of my pancakes. I just make pancakes. Yeah, 17 bread recipes there, and then on top of that I have my sourdough focaccias, and then I have my VTuber inspired breads, which I am working on. I am trying to make more, it's just that they're not easy. they're hard. I do plan on doing a VTuber baking stream sometime soon in the future, so keep an eye out for that. I don't know. Pancakes with separated egg white. That is high effort. Yeah, you put as the analogy, as there is an analogy for it, it's putting your whole foot into it. Yeah, high effort pancakes, because you're doing that, you're separating the eggs and all that whatnot, you're making a meringue, you're making like essentially a souffle pancake, except you're not, because souffle pancakes are a pain in the ass to make, so you're just kind of making it more fluffy and soft and airy in the pan, but also just not exactly. They're good. My recipe I made, and they're pretty okay. Anyways, I am actually getting quite hungry here. So how's about I actually look into our little bread there? So we're gonna move again. Well, not we, but me. I'm gonna move real quick. Some if only, you know, chat, if only I had some delicious fresh bread that I could use to eat for some sustenance. Well, wow, we have bread. So, let me get the board. And it's been like half an hour or so, so it's perfectly cooled off. It's good enough to try and taste and eat. I gotta recalibrate because I'm dumb. Alright. And yeah, I gotta put this away. I gotta go hide it. Okay. I should take a picture of this first before I cut into it. Gotta make that not almanac. I gotta make that, what's the word? Graham? I don't know. All the pictures. What if you made bread a superfood? So I would put like avocados into it, make a quinoa flour, and then bake it with like sour starter. I mean, I guess I could do that, but that's a lot of work. I just want some milk bread. There we are. Okay, crumb. Smells like milk bread. Wow. Smells like milk bread. Very soft looking, very plush and soft. It's soft. It's soft. Did you know that it's soft? It's. Anyways. Nice, warm, fresh bread. You can't get any better than this, so. It's some good milk bread. Hmm. Now I do notice though, because it's been a while since I've actually made my milk bread recipe. I definitely think I need to. Well, no, not really. Milk bread tends to be on the sweeter side when it comes to bread. So I forgot that I made my milk bread a lot less sweeter than it normally would be. But it's... No, wait, never mind. Okay, it took me a second. I'm just chewing and now, okay, there's a sweet. It's a lot more of a subtle sweet. Is it extra decadent to make a cheesy milk bread sandwich? And yes, that bread is plush. Yes, thank you. No. I mean, it's good bread. It's good bread. Milk twice. Wait, what do you mean? What's redundant? Vague, that's vague posting. Context? Honestly, if anything, I probably didn't let it rise enough. I could have let it rise a bit more, but it's fine. It shall suffice. Cheese on milk bread. Well, some people like cheese in their bread, you know? Like a cheesy bread, like a cheesy, like a garlic knot bread, I guess. I don't know. People like their cheeses on their bread and all that whatnot. Is it excessive? Yes. But people like it. Or at least to my knowledge. Huh. Interesting. I just checked on the other bread and it actually is very... What's the word? It's very much, it actually didn't brown as much. I'm kind of surprised about that. Anyways, I'm cutting up a few more slices here because I want myself a sandwich. Since it's still a little warm, it's kind of hard to cut. I got some butter here and I got some ham. So, I think I'm just gonna have a nice, good old simple butter and ham Sammy. It's not soft anymore. God damn. Okay, well. Cheese on bread, but so have you never had like a hoagie? Like having a sandwich with cheese on it? Because in that sense, that would also be excessive, no? And have you never seen like those strawberry sandos or something like that? Where like there's a lot of Japanese sandwiches that are made with like cream and strawberries. Cheese on milk bread equals 2 ingredients. Okay, well then I argue this. Milk bread has butter in it. What you gotta say about that then, Is it extra decadent to make a cheesy bread sandwich? I think I already read that, but no, I don't think it is I don't think it's... Well, yes, it is decadent, but I don't think it's excessive. Butter is less milky than cream or cheese or milk. Okay, I guess. But it's still a dairy. It's still dairy, you know? Alright. And here is the other bread. Damn. Huh. It came out a lot more easily. I'm actually quite surprised at how not as dark it is. Very interesting. Well, to be fair, I'm taking it out 5 minutes earlier than the other one, so for what that's worth. For a Pullman loaf. It's a milk bread loaf, excuse you. Ah. Hey Salty, it's been a while. How have you been? I have been good. Hi. Sorry, I was eating a sandwich then. Of which I'm gonna make myself another sandwich because I am really hungry. Ah yes, the simplicities of really nicely, simply fresh baked bread and ham and butter. Simple things, yes. Simple pleasures of life, even. I think there is a name for this as a sandwich, but I believe it would normally be put on a baguette. It's like a hamon bear. I'm not French. Where's Manto when I need him? Because he speaks French. I don't know. You would probably be able to understand what I'm trying to say. Because I don't know how to say it. I only cook in French. I don't speak in French. Yeah. Okay. Oop. There you go. Alright, well, I'm also going to take this sandwich and I'm actually gonna walk back, mosey back over to this areas. Yeah. Alright. And we're back. Well, I'm back. I'm back at the spot. Oh. Hold on, wait. Why is it doing that? Uh-oh. I think I'm broken. Uh-oh. Did I break myself? Uh-oh. Ah! Uh-oh, I'm broken. Ah! Uh-oh. I'm broken. Okay, hold on, wait. Okay, I am no longer broken. Yippee. Okay. I guess now we gotta spend time now. Well, okay, I'm actually just gonna take a second. I want to eat another sandwich. I am hungry. I'm sorry. wait, hold on, wait. I should Sorry, I'm gonna take a second here and just really quickly. I am eating. You can read that, right? Alright, cool. Take a sec. I'm just gonna. It's getting late. I need to head off. But keep enjoying your bread, boss. Alright. No need to tell me twice about that. See you around, Sepia. Nice for you to say hi. Bye bye. But what is it? I think we are gonna end fairly soon here. I just want to eat it quick. I'm trying to eat it quick enough that I don't puke. So, that being don't know where that voice came from. I am taking a second here because I am also just taking a little look-see. Taking a little look-see around Twitch to see, because we are gonna end fairly soon here. Just trying to think of like, who do we want to go raid into? I mean, there's a plethora of possibilities. There's 2 VTuber siblings that I know of that are actually live. I might go raid in one of the 2 of them. Oh, and by the way, we aren't ending stream right now. Just to reiterate. We're not ending stream yet. I am just trying to make sure that we have options, so I have my options, you know? And I'm done eating. Yippee. Okay, okay, I gotta just mention this because I know I'm just now deciding to be quiet. I'm sorry. This is an unfortunate thing, an often very upsetting side effect after I eat food. My body turns off. My brain doesn't want to work. The vocal drive is done. It's like... Yes. Anyways, let's talk about... Hold on, I do want to continue to talk about it, because I kind of grazed over the idea of it. But I do want to put more in-depth little bits and bops of talk. There we go. This. So I do want to make a physical copy of this. Though I don't think I'm going to sell it, so to say. For one thing, I have not asked every single artist that is on this for permission for it to be sold for for it to be used for merchandising. So it's only fair if I actually ask the ones I've commissioned to actually see if I can use it for merchandising, because I think there's just, what is the word? It's just fair, you know? So I need to go ask them first. Second of all, I don't know. I don't really want to make merch and sell it. No. No. I don't know how to explain it. It just I'm not a VTuber. You see, that's the thing. I am not a VTuber. I'm just. Then I also do want to make these actually look a little nicer. Hell, maybe even use 2 pages. So then it's like, oh, instead of just 1 page, it's now 14. Well, 36 pages. Yeah. And also I would have more room to then do this, have 1 thing here and then a paragraph and more pictures on the other side. So I definitely want to make this a bit more book-like, if you will. But I also need to do some graphic design, how well that can go, and all that whatnot. But the idea is there, and most likely than not, I feel like if I were to give this out as merchandise, I am going to just give it out. I'm going to make it myself. So that's gonna go so well. I don't know how to make a book, but you know what? There's always a time to pick up new hobbies. I need a printer. But yes, I do want to do that. I think that'll be fun. The words, they're not in my head. Meh. Music's still okay. Good. The music's still good. That still works. Good. Yeah. My brain's. I'm very food coma, I guess. Ugh. What I was talking about. Oh yes, bread book. I want to make this into a book, but I would give this I would just kind of give it out. Just because if I were to give it out, I'm not really making money off it, so to say, so then at that point I kind of feel fine, and I don't really need to ask, so to say. Well, at least I don't think I need to ask, because I'm not making money of it directly. And I don't know how it goes with, permissions and stuff like that, but it would assume since I'm not making money off it, because it looks cool. And also, there is a very, very important disclosure of credits and arts and all that stuff like that, so I got that there. Yeah, so I'm not saying oh, I drew that, because I know as sure as hell as myself, and I sure as hell hope that you guys do know, you lot, that I know I can't draw like that. That beautiful art is not made by me, it is commissioned. Yeah, but I would like to make this into an actual physical copy. I think that's kind of fun, and also I feel like physical copies for books and whatnot, they tend to be a little bit more endearing than Google Doc, because everyone does that, right? Oh, I'm gonna probably sound like a repeating broken disc, because I probably already said it, but I don't register that I remembered me saying it or not. But I would definitely give these out at Off-Kai, for example, just because I think that'd be kind of cute, be kind of nice, be kind of fun. Just giving out oh hey, I have a recipe book. Take it. It has easy bread. Make it. Yeah. That's it. So, I might do it today even. What's to say? Or hell, I might even make that a whole ass stream of just converting this book into a book. I need more pictures, so that means I need to make more bread. Oh boy. Maybe. Recipes for easy bread are readily available. Yeah, and that's kind of why it's nice to have a Google Doc of it all. The trouble is that most people don't want to bake. Yeah. Which is quite funny, because I feel for bakers, or people that want to make bread, if you're smart about it, bread is a very lazy hobby to have because the majority of the time you're just kind of just waiting. And if you have a mixer, so to say, it becomes even lazier and even easier. So with stuff like this, it's just kind of like, it just... I don't know. Laziness. Laziness is really weird, but it's like... Laziness, if it pays off in food, I think it's like nicer. No, it's like a nice stew if you make a stew, because like the stew gets a lot better the more you forget about it, but don't forget about it long enough that it burns and caramelizes the bottom of your pans and all that whatnot, but lazy enough to where you kind of forget about it and you have to be somewhat courteous of it. And yeah, hi nanodes, hi. But what if I'm fast hungry? Then you don't make bread, unfortunately. Bread is definitely one of those things that's like, you can waste 3 hours of time. Well, making bread is like a 3-hour thing, but in essence, to make bread, it takes... The amount of active time to make bread is like 15 minutes in all honesty. Everything else can be autonomous and is mostly waiting. Because in essence, you're mixing the bread, then you're letting it rest, then you're letting it rise, and then you punch it, let it rise again, then you punch it again, you shape it, you put it in a thing, let that rest for a bit. Bread. Just like that. Yeah, it's that easy. I don't know. It's much longer if you're not good at it. Yeah, that is very true. But there is no excuse for when it comes to sourdough, because sourdough is mega lazy bread. That is the bread that you forget about to make, because like, you don't even have to mix it or knead it. You just mix your sourdough together, you get it into a ball, you let it sit out in your refrigerator for like 2 days, and then it's like, oh yeah, I have bread. So you take it out, you put it in a container, you forget about it for 5 more hours, then you throw it in an oven. You don't even need to knead sourdough all the time if you're lazy. If you're lazy, then you don't need to knead it, but it's better if you do knead it. Regardless, it's really good lazy bread. And I've definitely have made breads before. Beginners have hot problems of dough handling and hydration, but that's why I try and make my recipes very easy. So it caters to that audience, it caters to that idea. Like honestly, I feel like, now this might be a big ask, but I bet if I can somehow convince a VTuber to actually just make this bread recipe, but instead of like this, it's like, oh, it's just 7 grams of yeast. The hardest thing that they're gonna do is measuring. That is honestly the hardest thing to do, because this recipe for my sourdough, for instance, you can change this into a rustica bread, or a country loaf, whatever you want to call it. Dead ass easy. Dummy easy. So many people could make this bread. I know without a doubt in my mind. Simpler operations like take it out of the bowl or knead can be disasters for beginners. Yeah, but like you don't have to knead this. Well, not required. There are lazy ways to make bread. I'm tired. Okay, you know what? I think it's definitely been enough time, so I'm going to... We're gonna go into the kitchen one last time, and then I will send you guys off into the great beyond. Far and far, beyond one of the mind's comprehension. We shall send you off to somewhere, but for now, let me go back to the kitchen. It is still a touch warm, so it's probably not exactly ready to cut into. But I do want to first take a picture of it, because I need to take pictures. I should definitely try and get like definitely need to get something to actually take pictures so I don't have to recalibrate and all that whatnot. Ugh. Anyways, actually funny enough, this is actually notably a lot more softer. Well, actually, it is just as soft as the other bread, the other milk bread. This one is also, to reiterate, this one is made with the Udane. And wow, the crumb is similar. Wow, shock horror. But yeah, they both smell the same, and you won't believe it, but it's just as plush and soft as the other one. And I'm going to take a wild guess here, alright? Wild guess, a shot in the dark if you will, that this is going to taste pretty much like the other one. I forgot I did add like 2 grams more sugar actually in this. I can definitely taste it too. A lot more. There's a little bit more sugar. But honestly, the funny thing is, I think this is actually softer. Maybe it's because it's warmer too, but this is actually notably a little bit more softer. Yeah, it's probably just because it's warm, but it's not. It's actually a lot softer. And it's really good. It tastes pretty much the same. Texture-wise, they're fairly similar. It is really hard to really tell the difference though, just because this is warm. And when bread is warmer, they tend to be, you know, softer. But trying to take that into mind and trying to, like, take that into consideration, it is notably just as soft. This flavor is still the same because this is actually based off the prior recipe. Yeah, the texture is the same. Bread. Yeah. Pretty much verbatim. Almost. My one argument is that I would say one was easier to make, and that's really it. Alright. Well, I think we're done for today. I am plenty full from the amount of bread I have eaten as well. So, yes. Hold on, I am trying to, I'm actually thinking about it. I kind of want to see if we can go raid into someone else. As much as I would like to raid into AOH, I don't know how to say their name. Hell, I'm gonna just say them Hell. She's playing Minish Cap, which is fine. It's a really, I hear that's a good game. And Kako, Misuru, I don't know. You know, those two lot. Love them. But we should read someone else. Hmm. Trying to look for someone we could go raid. I'm anxious, so I'm not gonna raid into someone with a lot of viewers. Cause I feel intimidated. Rah. Hmm. Hmm. Alright, I am finding some contenders. They all seem very good. Oh, this is also in the context of Twitch side. They're cool, but too big, scary. Hmm. Oh, definitely too big. Jeez. 200! Oh, wow! Oh, that one just got raided. Ah, you know what? Here, this last right here, she's doing she seems real sweet. She's doing a little karaoke stream. So why not we go say hi to them? Here is a raid message if you are words. If you are wanting to send a message as we head on over to that. On YouTube side, I don't think we can raid into anyone. We can go raid into Mintmai. Cool. She's a bigger, but she's playing ZA, so we'll go raid into her on YouTube side. YouTube side, we are gonna go say hi to Mintmai. On Twitch side, we are gonna go say hi to Remilia from Toho. Yeah. Okay. I am finished here. Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you will tune in. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. We're gonna be playing Pokemon Champions. Hopefully. So we will play that. We will be playing Pokemon Champions on that time. Oh. And yeah, we will be playing Pokemon Champions on Wednesday when it comes out. I hope you'll be able to tune in and say hi to me then. Make sure you go say hi to the lads that we are going to go right into now. And that's it. Alright, I hope you guys have a good rest of your good morning, afternoon, and or evening. And I am heading out. Alt F4'd everyone. And ciao.